Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 106 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name is Geiger, and that is Christian.
Let's put a ding in the universe.
And we are your hosts with the posts. Every week, Christian and I select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. And this week's topic, Silicon Valley.
Yes, sir.
The place, the district, as we realized last week.
Not the television series on HBO, Showtime, Cinemax. Sure. Great.
Yep, definitely Cinemax. And this topic was actually chosen by our wonderful patron Vanessa.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, go on. What were you going to say? Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was probably going to say whatever you were going to say.
What were you going to say?
That's something about her calling in.
Yeah, she called in to explain why she chose this as her topic. So let's hear what she has to say.
Hi, this is Vanessa. Thanks, Geiger and Christian, for a great show. I want to assure all the listeners, yes, choosing a show topic is just as fulfilling as you imagine it would be. I feel great. I'm loving it. So why did I choose this topic? I've been in startups for 15 years. I founded one. I don't recommend founding a startup. You will run out of money. I've also pitched to VCs to try to get investment. I'm proud to say I sucked at that. VCs do not like me. And I wanted to share what I know about Silicon Valley. All startup employees are incompetent and dream of being founders and CEOs. All CEOs are sociopaths who dream of becoming venture capitalists. All venture capitalists are leeching scumbags who want to impress their friends. And we're hiring. Again, thanks for digging up bad posts about Silicon Valley. You work hard and you play hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That sounds awful, really.
Doesn't sound fun.
The whole world of that. So thanks, Vanessa. And I am going to say this about Vanessa, who might be our favorite listener, and that's because she also, in addition to paying us money to choose a topic, she also supplied a whole bunch of posts for the show. So we essentially got paid to do less work, and I that to me is the true Silicon Valley mindset. So
That's right.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, for doing most of our work this week. But Christian, you work for a company?
That's right.
And do they have any sort of those classic Silicon Valley ping pong table in the break room, all that dumb shit?
Yes, sir.
Great.
We have a ping pong table. We got the inflatable balls that people use at their desk. We got the big bright columns painted in the office and stuff, and also a lot of people at work there that I'm not entirely sure what they do. So It's very much the startup mindset.
Oh, you must have been seeing a mirror at work. So I think we should go ahead and get started, seeing as I do not have a job, so I have no way to relate to this topic. But we will. I believe we have some posts.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
So,
okay.
When you think of Silicon Valley, you think of Apple, and when you think of Apple, you think of Steve Jobs.
Sure.
And he died a number of years back, but people still like to post about him for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Like this lady I found on Twitter, Dr. Dante Sears. She tweeted out, "Wish I knew then what I know now. Had we met, I could have saved Steve Jobs' life. Hashtag intervention, hashtag cancer." And her Twitter bio reads, "Health your wealth. I transform businesses into profitable brands. Metaphysician, Dr. Divinity, natural medicine, founder, FOUNDR, of drsears.us, dantebella.com. So I went to her website, and here's the about info. Dr. Dante Sears is a 10-time certified metaphysical doctor and chromotherapy specialist, and in parentheses, color therapy.
Sure.
She specializes in reversing incurable diseases and dysfunction with natural medicine and the power of the mind. Dante is the global solutionist. She's made it her life's work to create products and services that promote world prosperity and change lives, like Dante Bella, which is another one of her brands. Dr. Sears is also a published model/actress whose face went around the world with some of the top brands like Big Sexy Hair, WB Network, Getty and Wire Images, NBC, MTV, and ABC TV.
Like, Getty got her, huh?
So if she only would have met Steve Jobs, whatever, 7-8 years ago, whatever it was, she could have used color therapy to save him from, I believe it was colon cancer that took him away from us far too soon.
I'm still not exactly sure what she is.
She's the solutionist, global solutionist.
According to her Instagram profile, she's a public figure, a founder, and a billionaireess. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what a billionaireess means. If it's just a fun way to say a lady billionaire.
Or inherited her billions, perhaps. Yeah. This seems like a very rich person with nothing to do style thing right behind it. So, great for Silicon Valley.
I would say either that or she has like $600,000 in debt and she will never get out of it, and she makes $28,000 a year. But so either way,
she's doing great. She's doing great.
Life. And Getty and Wire Images, big gets there.
The WB network too. Yeah, don't forget about that.
So I found a thread titled "Programmers Revolt Against Social Justice Rules in Linux." This is on our Conspiracy. I joined a small startup 2 years ago, and the number one rule is no SJWs allowed, no dyed hair, no women allowed, Friday BYOB and drink after 3 p.m., no open-mouthed pics, no social media or very minimalist accounts. It was so great being there. One of the best times of my life. And bad boy Bill responded, "Since women most likely find all of you repulsive, it's really no loss, right? I bet you didn't even have to beat them off from not working with you." And the OP responded, "Women don't find me repulsive. I've been with at least 20 of them and have a girlfriend who hates all this stupid SJW stuff much more than I do.
Sure.
You guys are a minority. What wins is logic, meritocracy, love, the best ideas, the smartest, the strongest, God, enlightenment, tradition, children, intelligence, civil discourse, philosopher kings, and so on. Not cultural Marxism." Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couple questions.
Philosopher kings is
Philosopher
undoubtedly
kings
what these guys are.
is the real takeaway here. That's the great. But I'm not sure what this post has to do with either Linux or conspiracy theories. So that's great. That's a great jumping off point. And this just seems like the most absolute like wet blanket of a person.
Oh, sure.
A very shaming kind of guy. God, to think that that's good to, my boss lets me bring in beer and drink after 3 p.m. on a Friday. Like, that's so cool. That rocks.
I like that there's a rule, no soy face pics, apparently. Which, obviously, Christian,
I'm not going to get hired there. Yeah. No.
Yeah. The ultimate soy boy.
Automatically out the door. Great. So the next one here was actually sent in by Vanessa. So thanks, Vanessa. Benedict Evans is a clueless piece of shit who works for one of the most prestigious VC firms in the world, and he had this complaint about the city he lives in. San Francisco is like New York with no Manhattan, or like London with no Zone 1. It's all nice and livable until you want to go into town and remember there isn't one. User Saul from Brooklyn replied, "So the Mission District doesn't do it for you?" To which Benedict responded, "Where's the city block-sized carpet shop?"
Yeah, that's what does it for a city, right?
That's right. You got to have the rug emporium in order to really make sure that you make your mark as a livable place.
Yeah, this guy gentrifies every building he walks into. It just leaks
by
off
osmosis.
Of him. Yeah. That guy sounds like, first of all, just Benedict in general. You don't meet a casual working class guy named Benedict. That just doesn't happen.
No.
Have you been to San Francisco?
No, I have not been to San Francisco.
I went, and it seems maybe it's because I'm from the sticks, as this guy would likely presume, but it seemed like a real city to me. It seemed like, although I thought it wasn't carpet shopping, to be fair. So. I don't travel to carpet shop, but also I got some sourdough bread there. It was great.
How was it?
It was fantastic.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I've had better. In fact, I've made better.
Yeah.
So this is from our legal advice. I'm a VC that took a meeting that was clearly fake. I'm a partner at a small VC in the Northeast. We tend to do small number of deals in consumer technology companies a year. However, today we met with a biotech that was highly recommended. After meeting with this company today, I cannot be more sure they are lying from top to bottom about their technology. It simply does not align with the biological reality, and they refuse to share their data. They have pulled the wool over their investors' eyes, and the data they show appears heavily falsified. Having tried to do business with Theranos soon after my postdoc, it's the same sinking gut feeling. This company has $5 million committed for their seed round, mostly San Francisco and Chinese money that doesn't know how to diligence bio. We obviously will not be going forward with the deal, but is there anything I can do? And the top response to this was username checks out.
Okay.
And should note the OP's username is I invest poorly.
Yeah.
This guy keeps getting this sinking gut feeling. Probably well after the fact that he should.
It just keeps clicking on every chain email that comes through. Like, my next opportunity. It's incredible to think this guy still, after investing in Theranos and finding out it was a scam, was still like trusted with making a decision on like, go ahead and find something else to put money.
Yeah, I mean, to be a partner at a VC, I feel like you just have to be an asshole with money, right?
Sure, yeah. You sold your car dealership, and then you gave it to your son, and then now you're a venture capitalist. Absolutely, that's great. Well, speaking of Theranos, so back at the end of 2018, a lady by the name of Elizabeth Holmes, who is the founder of Theranos, got herself in some hot water when it turned out that she was a big-time fraud and had lied her way into receiving over $100 million from investors.
Queen.
So, queen. Yeah. Yes. I found a Twitter account called @monitoring_risk that has some more interesting dirt on Miss Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes, dupe and Mossad Theranos operation, was seeking out Mr. Beto O'Rourke, hoping to lure him into sexual relationship. Holmes is high-level female sociopath with serious facial asymmetry. O'Rourke path to White House, target. Again, this is likely Mossad. So this is a real connect the dots kind of post between the Israeli intelligence community, Beto O'Rourke, and a blonde lady with a fake baritone voice and a serious facial asymmetry, which is kind of a dig at her, but
it's the most polite way I've heard of just calling someone unattractive. But this guy monitoring risk. What a fun! This is a great account. My wife just reminded me of an encounter with a good number of baboons. We were in South Africa hiking somewhere. For some reason, I do not recall the encounter.
Perhaps it's some sort of debilitating mental illness, because there's a lot of fun posts on there. For sure.
This is one of those guys who, they're like, if you don't pay attention and you just sort of casually glance, you can be like, okay, I think this guy's probably he seems kind of normal, and then as you as you look closer at some of these tweets, you're like, oh, what the fuck is this thing? What the hell is this guy?
Yeah, if you actually like just scroll through a couple pages of posts, you're like, oh boy. Yes, sir. Oh.
He's posting a lot of screenshots of people. He apparently made a post on Nextdoor, and he's posting screenshots of everyone who thanked his message, his comment. Like he's posting like the email notifications that said they thanked what he said. So that's a weird feller, huh?
Not great.
So Quora is a website that we've farmed many times for content on the show. And as Vanessa pointed out to us, there are some great reviews for the headquarters of Quora, based in Mountain View, California. Let's go ahead and read some of these reviews. Ralph gave it a 1 star in this review. While I've never worked there, Quora is a website full of extremely racist questions concerning black people and other minorities. If you respond to any of the questions, you quickly find yourself suspended for a week or two. No one at Quora will answer questions, and either bots or people with racist tendencies themselves are part of the appeal team, which means nothing positive happens. Now, I don't know which kind of racist he's talking about. It's hard to tell. That's one of those where
the users are racist, or the mods are racist, or both.
Yeah, or is it like racist towards white people, which is this usual kind of complaint, is those guys who think like there's a question about Trump saying something bad.
Yeah,
he's
it's
like, yeah, the
reverse
website's
racism.
racist. Yeah.
Now, are the bots also racist? Because that rocks. If
the bots cannot understand love, but they can understand racism. That's how it works.
They're programmed to be racist. That'd be great.
David Kirpin added this 1-star review. What are they? Sent me an email. Don't know what they are. It'd be nice to know. Okay. So, doesn't seem like a fair thing to give a building 1-star review for that. All right. That's fine. And finally, there was this gentleman's 4-star review. Great website, but minus a star for censorship. Which I got to say, that guy's he's a little forgiving on the censorship if he's only deducting 1 star for it. Shouldn't that be like a big red flag on a website like that?
Also, I can say from the experience I've had there that censorship is not really anything that you need to really worry about over there, because people will just say whatever they want. So
yeah, I've not seen the things that we've seen for the show alone. There's not a whole lot of censoring going on.
Yeah, no sir, which is great. So thanks for the content,
yes.
Quora. Sorry that your building sucks or whatever.
Really learned a lot there. Those reviews.
So there's a lot of new apps and apps ideas out there, and user Soch Theory on Instagram had an idea for one that he shared to Reddit. Need feedback, relationship app. Please read.
Okay.
People in relationships sometimes has disagreements with their partners and they can't find common ground on. This application idea is that one of the partners can post their dilemma/arguments on the app, and other people can vote and comment on who they think is in the right and who is in the wrong. The value that the app gives is to close these disagreements with a third party, so you get to listen in on other couples' problems.
Wow.
What are your thoughts? Is it a good idea? And has it already been done? And Firefly Kai asked, how is this going to make money, and why are people going to go and read it and vote instead of just going to our relationships? Which is a great point.
Fair point. It's kind of a fun app, I think, honestly.
Settle this debate between my wife and I.
I would say it's especially a fun app because it would undoubtedly have great content for the show, which is really all I care about with anything online anymore.
That would be the new bit. Would be just every week we would put one of our disagreements up and see and have people vote on it.
No. I'm not saying. Again, you're thinking like a non-Silicon Valley guy. We would have people do all that stuff for us, and then we would just read it on the show. And it's going to get to the point where I will be hopefully soon replaced with just like Siri or something to read these posts, because You know,
upload
why
it to
have
the
a
cloud.
middleman? You know, really, what's the point?
You're plugged in like the Matrix. You don't even have to do anything. It'll be great.
Here's a quick post from Reddit from R2 Afraid to Ask. Is it legal for a startup CEO to force her employees to lie to investors? And user Quantum Discharge responded, is it legal to commit fraud? No.
Well, hey, you know what? Good to know.
You had to ask, right?
And it's probably good that it's out there in the public domain. Like, oh shit, I should probably delete my entire account now so that there's no trail.
No, it's still there. Still kicking.
Find a new job, I would say. Don't want to work there.
I don't know. Could be fun. If you're a good liar, it's a great place to be.
Well, let's go to another question subreddit, and this one is also from Vanessa. Am I the asshole for saying I'm barely middle class? My brother and his wife and kid recently had to move back in with our parents in Idaho due to getting fired from his last job and not being able to find another due to the current lack of jobs. My parents aren't that well off, so they can't really help him with some of his bigger expenses like car payments, etc. And he and his wife never managed to save that much money, so they're running out of savings fast. He called me up last week and asked for a loan. I declined because I also have expenses and I need to save too. He said that I'm rich and don't have a kid, and he wished I were more willing to help out family. But here's the thing. He only thinks I'm rich because he knows I make $165,000 a year. But I live in San Francisco, and in the Bay Area, that's barely even middle class. All of my friends make more than I do, or they worked at startups that went public and got a huge windfall. I can't even dream of buying a house with the high payments for my apartment, car, takeout, groceries, etc. Everything just costs a lot more out here, and I need basically everything I earn to keep afloat and to try to put a little away in case I get laid off. I explained all of that to him, and he started asking if there's any way I could help him out, which made me feel really bad.
Oh.
In the end, I told him I'm barely keeping afloat here due to the high cost of living, so no, I don't have extra money to help him with. Am I the asshole? So, everyone called him an asshole except for user Plain Jane Lane 03 who said this. California is major expensive, and these people mocking you just don't understand. Giving up takeout is a lot, especially if you don't cook.
God damn. Just the worst possible people. Yeah, $165,000 a year. There's nowhere where that's middle class. I guess if you live at the top of the that tower in Dubai, maybe like that's middle class. Like if you're only making that while you live there, sure. Otherwise, this guy's an asshole, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the average cost to rent an apartment in San Francisco, and it's about $4,000 a month.
You fucking idiots living out there. Oh, that's funny as hell. Boy, I'm sure that'll
But that's
last
still
forever,
only
right?
that's less than a little over a quarter of what this guy makes. So
Yeah. There's really no.
and
I'm gonna guess the place he lives in is more than whatever.
oh
the
yeah,
average
it's like
is.
$65,000 a year or something. Yeah, and also I mean he probably also does the thing where he's like, I'm going to take the weekend off. I'm just going to rent Airbnb my apartment to somebody.
Sure.
So he's just he has a passive income flow on his own housing as well. Fun
Yeah.
times.
I can't imagine. Car he drives, everything is probably. These are great. Some of the best posts. I mean, we did that whole episode about money. Like episode 5 or something like that?
Yeah.
And read a lot of posts like that, if I recall correctly, which I don't. So here's a post from our sociopath. Sociopaths are fascinating, and I deeply respect you guys. Okay, I was reading about Elizabeth, CEO of Theranos, and how she had such big frauds. And it made me have a big smile on my face as I finished reading about her and how she used to manipulate her voice and all. It was fascinating, to say the least. How do they do such things? Manipulating people is an art, I would say so. I really do want to know how they do it. Sociopaths here, don't you guys feel happy and fascinated by yourselves? You are sometimes my inspiration by the fact that you become the best achievers on this planet. That is just beautiful. And Dr. Professor 69 said, this is a weird fetish.
Yeah.
A guy who looks at sociopaths are heroes to this guy. What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, and both of these guys knows what's up. Like,
yes.
They're both in their own. They're in their own element.
Yeah,
they are. They both have their own thing going. So you got the guy that's obsessed with sociopaths and finds them the most attractive people in the world, and then you have Dr. Professor 69, who knows what his fetishes include, but this is not one of them. So
let's see if I can find out real quick. Let's see, folks. We're going to doing a die. Okay, he made a thread. The last thread he made was called "Trump is Bad." And that was in Democratic Socialism, and the thread was deleted. So.
So he really sticks by his guns. Good for him.
So that'll do it for this week's very special episode of Silicon Valley. Again, thank you to Vanessa for submitting this topic. You, of course, as the wonderful listener, can submit your own topic for us to do over at patreon.com/reportthispost or over at reportthispost.storeenvy.com. Several ways that you can select a topic. How crazy is that? How awesome, how fun, how wonderful is that, right? Can you believe it, folks? So many different options. But of course, if you want to hear the rest of this episode plus the rest of the previous episodes, you go over to patreon.com/reportthispost. This episode in particular has a whole extra hour ready for you over there, just sitting there. It's just waiting for you, folks. It's just, you just sign up and then you get to hear it, and then you get to hear all the rest. It's you'd be an idiot not to do it, right? Can you agree on that, folks? Goodbye.